Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim. I'm going to be showing you some cards that I made using the collection by Country Craft Creations called Schoolhouse Memories. Teachers always need thank you cards, and so I just put some together real quick. I have 4 different styles, and I'll give you the measurements as I go through them. This first card, all of the cards started at 4 by 5.5. That was the base card. And then this one just lifts up. All of them have a thanks cut out. And then it just opens and you can write something on the inside. Okay, so this could be like the person's name or whatever. Another one that kind of matched that color scheme is this one. And you just lift up and there's a little tuck spot here, and that's where I wrote a little card that said thanks. And then when you open it, you can write a message. This one is like an easel card. So it's like this, and then it lifts up and it will, it'll stand where it says thanks, and you can write underneath there. And the last one, the last style, this flips up and then this comes out and you can write your message here. So I thought those would be pretty handy to have in my classroom when I need them, and so I'm going to make a duplicate of each one using probably a little bit different, I know it's different paper, same Schoolhouse Memories, but just different patterns for each of the cards. So if you want to have a pen and paper ready, I'll give you measurements as I go if you're interested, but remember all the bases, all of the main parts of the card were 4 by 5.5. So let's start with this one. We're going to use the card so that it opens to the right, not down at the bottom. And you're going to need some, you need to do 1 cut. So on your base card, when it opens, you want to cut 2 inches off the side. So let me do that. So we're going to take 2 inches off, which is just half of what the card measures. So now you have this. Okay, the pattern paper for that, if this is 2, you can either go 1 7/8 or 1 3/4, and because it's 5.5, you're going to go 5 3/8. Depends if you do 8s or 4ths. I usually do 8s, but on some of them I wanted you to see more of the border paper, so I might have done 1/4 of an inch instead. And just glue that right on top of that little flap. Okay, on the inside then you're going to need a piece. Now on the first ones I inked the edges, and I thought, okay, I don't need to ink the edges, it'll save me some time. So then on the inside, if it's 4 inches, I went 3 7/8 by 5 3/8 for the inside piece. Okay, and I did go ahead and cut a piece for this too. You can either do the 1 3/4 or the 1 7/8. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that one down. Make sure it's even. There we go. Sometimes I don't trust my cuts. Okay, just lay that down. That's not. Okay, seriously. All right, better burnish that one down because I lifted it once. Okay, so there's our base. Now you're going to need, I took a solid piece that was 8 inches long and 3 1/4. Was it 3 1/4 or 3 1/8? 3 1/4. And you're going to score this right in half. So just go ahead and score it on the 8-inch side at 4 inches. I didn't do that, so I gotta do that real quick. Okay, so I scored it and just fold it in half. Okay, and I did, because I had the little boy on this one, I wanted the little girl on this one, and I added a star and the word wonder from the collection. I cut, this actually said wonder plus education equals wisdom. I took off the wonder and put it on the front, and I'm going to put the rest of the saying on the inside. So let's glue that on there. Okay. On the inside then, you can cut a piece of cardstock so that you can write a message. So if this was 3 1/4 wide, the blue, this would be 3 1/8. Now I have a saying that I cut out that says thanks, so I had to leave room for that at the bottom because they were the same color. So that's why mine is shorter. You could do it longer and then just write a message and have it cover the full length. I am not very good at lining these up right today. Okay, and then I'll add the word thanks. Put a bunch of little dots. My eyes aren't what they used to, so it's hard for me to see this, but I'm putting little dots of glue just so that it lays down. I hope I'm getting it. I can't see very well. All right. Get my dry wet wipe. Okay, so then we're going to glue that or adhere that so that there's a little bit of a border, and then I had cut out this, the other part of that saying, and I'll just have that sticking out down the bottom. So now it looks like wonder equals wisdom. So let's glue this down first. So we're going to have it hang off. We're going to leave a little bit of a border here, so you don't want to put glue on the whole thing. So about 1.5 inches to about 1 inch, probably about 1.25 inches of glue on the side. And I'll just do it about right there. Push that down. And I want to make sure that I get this lined up pretty good. I like it down there. Now on this one, the paper I use for the inside, well, I did it on this one too. I also put a place to write. So I would need a piece of cardstock that I did not cut to put here for a message. Let's see. And I'll make it, I probably want it about the same as this. So it's going to be about 4 inches long and about 3 1/4. So 4 by 3 1/4. Okay, so that's 4 by 3 1/4, and I just want to make sure that when it closes you don't see it sticking out. So I want to make sure that this front part covers it so you don't see it. So I'll go ahead and put my glue on. This one probably would have been a little bit better with a whiter paper, but so I'm just going to kind of lay this here so I can tell if it's going to show, and then I'll just close this. just to make sure I get it in the spot that I want. There we go. So that's kind of a matching set right there. The next one is pretty easy. They're all easy. Start with your base, that's 4 by 5.5. We're going to go ahead and cover it with a piece of paper that is 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. You're not going to see much of this once we do the top. Glue more on top of it, so you won't see much of this pattern. See if I can center this one. I haven't had much luck lately. There we go. I like it just like this. I could just use it like that as a note card. All right, so now you're going to need a piece that measures 9 inches long and 4 inches wide. So this is 4 by 9, and if it is patterns on each side, make sure that it's directional paper. So when you open it, you want to be able to read the words or have the picture looking upright, not a butterfly upside down. So then I put the 9 inches across my scoreboard and scored at 3 6. And I am going to cut the bottom section. I'm going to cut that at a diagonal. So I'm going to put this in my cutter so that this corner and this corner line up on the cutting blade, or on the cut line. Okay, so it's this one, and I want to cut it like so. Gotta find the other end. There it is. Okay. Wonder what it would look like if I did it like this. Nope, then it's upside down. Okay, I just like this pattern better. I think it's gonna, that's all right. So let's glue just this side down on the left. Bring that up so it can hold our little card. And you can add something up here, but I just took a piece of cardstock that was 3.5 by 2.5, and I'll just tuck that in like so. I'm going to take it out for right now. So then I needed some color on the front, so I cut a mat that is 3.5 by 2.5. And let's center that one on the top when it's folded. And then find the decorative paper you want on top, and that's going to add quite a bit of color. And we're going to center that. So looks like I went 1/4 of an inch smaller on this one. And you can change these measurements and just use the scraps that you have too. Okay. My burnishing tool is right in front of me and I keep looking all over for it. And then on the inside, you're going to want to put a piece of paper to write on. So let's go 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch smaller. So 3 7/8. I think I did 1/4 of an inch on the inside. So I did 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. 5 1/4, excuse me. And I just added some color on the bottom there. Went with the flowers on the front. So we're going to just set that right here. Maybe I want this one off to the side so you can see the teacup a little bit more. Does that look done? Or maybe I need it down here so that you don't see the teacup, so that you just see a book page. Now I'm perplexed. What do I like better? I like that teacup, but I don't think it matches what I have here. On this one, I just centered it. Oh, I'll just, I don't like that. Maybe I need to add some green or something. Yeah, I don't like the way that looks. I don't like the way this cup looks, so I might have to mat it one more time. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to put another mat on top of this one, just because I don't like the color combination. Even though I do like that cup a lot. I think that's going to look better for me. And then I'll go ahead and just put glue on this back piece, and now I'll center it. And you can measure it if you don't want to eyeball it, of course. And then this card, and just stick that right on inside. And that's that one. So I have this one and this one now as a matching set. The next one is the, what do you call it when it stands up? Easel card. Again, start with the base that is a 4 by 5.5. We're going to cut a 1 1/4 inch on the top layer up to the score mark. So I don't cut very straight, so I'm going to go ahead and use my cutter, and I want it at 1 1/4. And I'm just, let me make sure that's lined up right. It doesn't look right. There we go. And I'm just going to stop. There we go. And I'm going to use my scissors to get to the very end. Okay. So I am going to mat the side here. So this piece is 1 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I have a piece of decorative pattern paper that I went 1/8 of an inch smaller on that one too. So if this was 1 1/8, this was 1. And if this was 3 7/8 tall, I have it at 3 3/4 tall. I had to think about that for a second. That's not good. My glue's getting clogged. Center that on the blue here. Not much of the blue is showing. Just a little bit. Okay, we're going to glue this strip down to the base. And now I'll glue this strip on top. All right. On the inside then, we're going to need a piece of cardstock for our message. It is 4 by 3 3/4, and I'll glue that right inside of here. Alright, now we do need our message, the thanks. I matted on a piece of paper so that when the card stands up, it will use this to keep it up. So let's glue that towards the bottom and we'll center it. Alright, now this piece we're going to score in half. So it's 4 inches long. We're going to score it at 2. So we just, or you can just fold it in half too if you want. But I'm going to use my scoreboard. And at 2. Go ahead and burnish it. So now we need a piece of paper and a pattern paper. So we're going to put the blue on top and then this here. And I don't know if that's enough contrast, but it'll work. Let me give you the measurements if I didn't already. 4 by 3 7/8. Now when we glue this, we're just going to end up gluing it on the bottom piece, and this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, 3 3/4, 3 3/4. This should be 4 by 4. That was a hair short. It'll work. Alright, so let's go ahead and glue that, center it. Okay. Okay, now we're just going to put glue on the 2-inch section, but don't go all the way to the edge. Leave a little border because the mat is a little bit smaller. You can go all the way to the bottom, just not on the side and the top. Oh yeah, the top you can too. Sorry, it's just the sides. Now I'm going to hold that down. Oh, I shouldn't have gone all the way to the bottom. I wasn't thinking. My measurements are not great. Let's see. Alright, and then it'll lift up and it'll just stay up on the thanks. So there's that one, and here was the other one. One more. It's this one. Let's get our base. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is cut the front cover, the front part that you open, from the upper corner to its opposite corner on the other side at a diagonal. So line it up in the cutting channel. Does that look right? Nope. There we go. So you have that half little triangle piece on the front. So on the inside, I cut out this paper. It is 1/8 of an inch shorter and wider, shorter, and the length by 1/8 of an inch was what I'm trying to say, for crying out loud. So I did 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. And a lot of this is going to be covered, so it didn't have to be a real fancy pattern. I might end up covering this, I'm not sure yet. On the outside then, I needed something. This is what I am going to use. To me this is a little boring, so I might end up cutting something to put on the front, but this is the same measurement, the 3 7/8 by 5 3/8, and we're going to cut this at a diagonal also. We might have to do a little bit of trimming, but I thought this might be more for a, I don't know, sometimes I think the cards that are not as decorative might be more for a boy. I don't like that. All right. So let's see how we like that fit. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to glue that down. Okay. Now we need a card that we're going to glue down here so that it will keep this closed. So this piece is 2 3/4 by 8. Folded it right in half at 4. I do want a mat to add some color. So go 1/8 of an inch smaller on the height and width. The cutout is this little, this was from the paper collection. Isn't that cute? Center that one. Oh my goodness. When you lift it up, I need a little paper for a message. And then I'm going to glue the word thanks down at the bottom. So I'll do this one first. So if this was 2 3/4, I went 2 5/8. Why? But I can't really tell you how long. It depends if you're putting something at the bottom or not. I'm going to add the word thanks. Get my dry wipe here. Alright, and so now we have to place it like so. I'm definitely going to need something in this corner. Let me see. I'll find something from the collection that's green that I can put down here. So that looks about right. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that. I'm going to center it here. And I'm going to put mine up a little bit higher, I think, just because I like that decoration down there at the bottom. So we just put glue on the back side. There we go. And that's what we have. I'm going to put something down here. I don't know what yet, but, and then I might go back and put some paper here. But then we have those two styles. I don't know if I have, I thought I saw a flower or something that was dark green. Maybe it was a fan. So I'll take a picture of it when I have updated it. But that is 4 easy designs that I can use for thank you cards at work using the Schoolhouse Memories paper. You could also, that would be a good gift for a teacher because we're always looking for thank yous. So there you go. Let me know if you have questions. Should be nice and easy for you. Thanks.